Hello, my name is Keith Brooks, and I want to thank Global Revive for allowing me this opportunity to share my thoughts and my experiences of this moment that we're all collectively experiencing. I was asked to share my perspective as an African American and what I'm experiencing in light of the recent events that have lit up our hearts and minds and our souls. And I wanted to bring some different perspectives to the table because this experience that we're going through is really about perspective. So I've chosen to look at this now moment through several different lenses. So there's an aspect of me that knows that this is a necessary cleansing that's occurring. Energy is balancing itself out on a higher level. I know and I truly believe through my studies that the universe is constantly seeking equilibrium. And we've been living in a very unbalanced system where evil has been given the throne to dictate our thoughts, to dictate our actions, to dictate how we relate to one another. We live in a world where people are looking outside of themselves to find love, when the truth is we're born from love. We are love. And this is a time when we get to wake up to that. And in order to wake up to that, there's certain truths that we all must come to agreement on. And one of those truths is that there's a lot of people who are carrying around a lot of pain. And that pain is constantly being triggered by current events that consistently happen to certain groups of people over and over again. And these events are consistently vilified by the dominant status, particularly the patriarchal system that runs this world, particularly white males and the dominant status quo. Consistently ignore the cries of people that are crying out for equality, that are crying out to be recognized. This is a time in which those cries are being demanded to be heard. So I see that and I feel that. I feel the rage of African Americans, 450 years of dealing with racism, institutionalized racism that makes the playing field unfair consistently for 450 years. My great-great-great-grandfather was talking about this. My great-great-grandfather was talking about this. My grandfather's talking about this. My father is talking about this. And now I'm talking about this. In hope that my son, 20 years from now, will not be talking about the same thing. What is necessary for us to build a bridge so that hurt people will stop hurting people? There is a mentality that is prevalent in this country, and it's steeped in purposeful ignorance, ignoring other people's truths, villainizing other people's truths. And it breeds a hurt that you see being reacted to by people who are steeped in hurt, born in poverty, treated as second-class citizens. And I'm not just talking about African Americans, I'm talking about Native Americans, I'm talking about women, I'm talking about all the disenfranchised groups that have to struggle for equality in this world. We live in a world that is full of abundance, and yet we believe that there is not enough for everyone and we must compete and there have to be winners and losers. Well, I think we're experiencing one of the most amazing times in the history of humanity. And we all get to make choices. We all get to choose whether we want to perpetuate the lies that have been contaminating our existence, or do we want to learn how to turn our shit into fertilizer? Do we want to allow this negative energy to be transformed into something positive? I believe that deep down in our hearts we really do, but we have some programs running in our minds that keep us at each other's throats, that keep us from compassionately listening to one another, that keep us constantly in battle and divide and conquer, keep us in fear. And the truth is, Bruce Lipton talks about this quite a bit. As long as we're in fear, We're in the amygdala part of our brain. We're in fight or flight. We're not able to have thoughts and actions that come from the higher vibrating parts of our mind that allow us to create solutions, that allow us to move these festering issues that have been going on for too long, too long. That's what you're experiencing when you see the rage, is that this has been going on for too long. And it's time for us to wake up and to build bridges. I'm a life coach, and the way that I coach building bridges, it starts in the mirror. Michael Jackson sings about it. It starts with the man and the woman in the mirror. Hurt people hurt others. And we have hurt people making laws. We have hurt people enforcing laws. We have hurt people killing people and perpetuating that hurt. And it's no surprise if you look at our media, if you look at our movies, if you look at what is being sold to us as programming. There's constant murder. We pay money to watch people beat each other up. We pay money. We stand in line to watch people beat each other up. That's the antithesis of love, and we wonder why we don't have love in this society. It's because we volunteer and we support a system of living, a system of being that is inherently anchored in negative, evil acts, perpetuating negative and evil thoughts and mentalities, keeping us divided and conquered, and we volunteer for this level of existence every day. And it's not until people wake up and say, you know what, I'm going to stop watching these violent programs. I'm going to stop listening to this violent music. I'm going to stop spreading hate first to myself, and then I'm going to practice stopping spreading that hate to others. I'm going to learn how to love myself first in the mirror. I'm going to learn how to heal my own wounds first, so that this evolution, this revolution within self can be mirrored out into the world that we exist. I believe that we are the ones that the world has been waiting for, and that the true revolution happens in the mirror, person by person, one person at a time, from the inside out, confirming our relationship with love. I think we're experiencing what happens when a society as a whole, for millenniums, has divorced itself from love. Our concept of love is very, very superficial, and we're suffering the consequence of that. But now's the time where we have the opportunity to truly step into that center place within each of us, where love, pure love, exists. It never left there. It always has been calling us, and it's calling us in this moment to wake up, to feel what's going on, to honor what's going on, to listen to the voices and the pain in the voices of those who are speaking loudly right now, to put their shoes on, to understand their perspective, to understand what they've gone through in their lives. Not from your perspective, but from their perspective, understand their truth. And when we do that, we have a better understanding of the whole truth, because the truth is a collection of perspectives. So I'm sharing all of this in hope that somebody will hear these words and be able to look in the mirror and realize that it all starts with me. It all starts with the person that's looking in the mirror, having the willingness to see beyond the illusions that we've come to believe as truth. Open your eyes, because now's a time when a lot of the things that we believed in as true are going to be revealed as lies. It's like realizing that Santa Claus truly isn't real. A lot of things about our political system is going to be revealed to show that it is rooted in untruths, and its purpose is to manipulate and control and to keep the resources in the hands of the few. We're going to realize that a lot of the ways that we've been trained to think about each other is purposefully manipulative. A lot of the things that we've been indoctrinated to believe as the truth has been purposefully manipulated. This is a grand awakening. This is a great revolution. The revolution comes when we look in the mirror and address the negative programming, the thought patterns that control our now moments. What are we thinking every day? Are our thoughts anchored in love, or are our thoughts anchored in fear? Are our thoughts anchored in love, or are our thoughts anchored in fear? There's no other way. Either we're acting out of love or we're acting out of fear. We get to be conscious of that in every now moment. This is about us transforming ourselves through looking in the mirror and dealing with the thought patterns, the programming, so that we can free ourselves from some of the beliefs that keep us in a small box, and so that we can gain access to the amazing spiritual beings that we are. We are mind, body, spirit, and many of us don't know anything about any part of that equation. The mind, we know very little about. The body, we think we know about, but we don't know the true essence of the body and what it can really do. It can heal itself without all of the corporate or the capitalistic medications that we're being told to take. A lot of our sickness is caused by the programming that we allow to exist in our minds, that we allow to dictate the condition of our body and our well-being. And if we eradicate that programming, we can heal ourselves. And that's what this moment is about, is eradicating toxic programming that would have us to believe that we are something other than love. Think about that. If you look in the mirror and you don't know that you are loved, that means we got self-work to do, and we all do. And that's what this time is calling for. So, in this moment of great transformation, I think more things are about to happen to test our ability to navigate the chaos, to find the peace in the midst of the storm, to address our fears, and to truly anchor ourselves into the energy of love. I think more things are about to happen to test that or to encourage that. And ultimately, every person has to make a choice. Am I going to be puppeted by fear, or am I going to be led by the power and the strength of love? It's really simple. It doesn't require religion. It simply requires tapping into this thing right here. I believe that humans are inherently anchored in love, and we have to learn how not to be, or how not to be connected to that anchor that exists in the midst of our soul, in the midst of our being. It's that thing in us that was never born and shall never die. So, in closing, I'd say I truly understand what my brothers and sisters are going through out in the street, because I feel that rage flowing through my blood. But I also see the opportunity of this moment to heal that within me, and to build bridges with those who are willing to learn, with those that really have sincere questions and want to hear different perspectives. I'm willing to build bridges with those. But for those that want to stay stuck in evil and darkness, I don't have any time for that. I don't watch it, I don't study it, and I don't allow those seeds to be planted in the fertile ground of my mind, body, and spirit. So, thank you for taking this time to listen to what I'm sharing. And again, my name is Keith Brooks. I truly feel blessed to be in this moment, and feel blessed to be able to share these words with you. Thank you very much.